Link and Zelda have been cast for the upcoming live-action Nintendo adaptation, and since the chosen actors look the parts, fans, whether that be of Zelda in particular or of video game movies in general, are happy. But that makes the activists among us unhappy, and they are allowed to declare themselves as fans and demand to be heard. Let's see what they, in their entitlement, have to say. For several years now, the activists have had power in shaping pop culture, and they drove it into the ground, even if they did so in a very diverse, equitable, and inclusive manner, with girl bosses in the driver's seat. Into the ground it went though, which is why more and more companies are starting to re-employ common sense in all things, including in the casting of upcoming blockbuster hopefuls. One such blockbuster hopeful is the upcoming Zelda. And here, for some reason, a number of, shall we say, rainbow activists had this idea of trans actor and model Hunter Schafer, someone who has taken Dylan Mulvaney's plight to normalize the bulge to heart.
So normalize the bulge, we are normalizing the...
taking on the role of Zelda. And then the activists have been trying to will and influence that into happening ever since the idea struck. If this indeed had happened, what do you think the movie should have been called? A Link to Zelda's Bulge? Let me know your title ideas in the comments right now, while I move on. Now, I am sympathetic towards the notion of trying to will something into existence. Longtime viewers will know that I myself have been guilty in trying to will a Red Sonja movie starring Sydney Sweeney into existence, or even a Dracula movie starring Sacha Baron Cohen as the titular count, though I cannot for the life of me understand why someone would stake their identity on Hunter Schafer being Zelda. Someone did do just that though, only now they no longer carry the influence they had only a short while ago, so when Nintendo then proceeded to cast someone else as Zelda, they did not take it well. Case in point, Vulture writes, Hunter Schafer wasn't cast in the Legend of Zelda movie. That's their lead. That's their headline. Not a Zelda movie is happening. Not Zelda cast looks just right. No, their angle is that a piece of fan casting that was never actually a thing and that no one outside of a subset, not even making up 1% of the population ever wanted, didn't come to pass. Or am I wrong here? Is this anger justified? Did more than I credit actually want Schafer for Zelda? Let me know what you think in the comments as I move on here. As for me though, I'd wager that in hard numbers, many more wanted to see Sydney Sweeney as Red Sonja than Hunter Schafer as Zelda. Yet that this is the angle of their story only goes to show that this article wasn't written for you or me. But let's read it anyway. Hunter Schafer, the waste of your elven features shall never be forgotten. Nintendo's live-action The Legend of Zelda film will not star Euphoria actress Schafer as the internet foretold. No, the internet did not foretell this. Only radical activists ever wanted it. Regular fans might have feared it would happen, but no one foretold it. And if some AI did, then that AI needs a bug fix. The two leads will be played by much younger performers, who were revealed on July 16th. Cast as Princess Zelda is Bo Bragison, a 21-year-old best known for starring in the Disney Plus series Operation Nell, and Link will be portrayed by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, a 16-year-old known for playing Miles in The Haunting of Bly Manor. In other words, age-appropriate cast, but I've seen some outlets like Gamer use this as a point of attack against the movie, which is pretty incredible, but it is what it is. MovieWeb were certainly perturbed, putting in their headline, Nintendo just botched the live-action Legend of Zelda casting. Which is funny, because I think that's what the rest of the world would have thought if they indeed had cast Hunter Schafer. But MovieWeb takes the extreme minority within a minority position and writes, the casting news marks exciting progress for the film, which doesn't release until May 2027, but it's also disappointing for many fans who expected Hunter Schafer to get cast as Zelda. Following the announcement of the live-action The Legend of Zelda movie, fans quickly pointed out that Hunter Schafer would be the perfect Zelda, which is extremely deceptive of MovieWeb to say. Fans did not point this out. Activists did, and while there may be some overlap between activists who are fans, they are so few and far between that their numbers pale in their utter insignificance compared with the fans who are not activists and who would lose any interest right off the bat if Schafer had been cast. Anyway, let's finish the sentence. Fans quickly pointed out that Hunter Schafer would be the perfect Zelda, which led to rumors that Schafer might actually land the part. No, those weren't rumors. Those were hopes on behalf of the activists, including the activists who are also fans, and worries from everyone else. I.e., the fans that aren't activists, which is the much, much, much larger group that Nintendo has to make happy here. The piece later clarifies the rumor bit though, writing, "Industry scooper Daniel Richtman even said that Schafer was being eyed for the role, which is something I question." Now, I don't doubt that Richtman heard such a thing, but based on past experience, I would surmise that that would have been fed to him by people in Schafer's camp, who were only putting that out there to raise Schafer's profile, because the chance of anyone in either Nintendo or the production company seriously entertaining that notion is virtually zero. Case in point, the piece continues. Nintendo likely wants The Legend of Zelda to be a family movie as well, and are perhaps avoiding any potential controversy that would come with the casting of a transgender actor as a lead. Yeah, no shit. That worked and was embraced for the Hellraiser remake, but this would be a quite different matter. Nintendo would not be the first major company to shy away from content that audiences might find controversial. Disney has led the way in removing LGBTQ+ storylines from films and TV shows in recent years. Of course, what they don't say is that Disney also led the way in including such storylines, and doing so destroyed their main brand and all of their subsidiaries. And MovieWeb didn't even thank them for doing so or give praise for all of the inclusion they did before this most necessary course correction. It's like their virtue never happened, so why would they do it when no one appreciated it? It's what I've been saying all along. Inclusion is exclusion. How's that for a slogan? I know it triggers some. If you're one, let me know why. Anyway, the story continues. Disney might be leading a new norm for the industry, where people with queer identities are no longer given representation in major films and shows, erasing any meager gains the LGBTQ+ community has made in recent years. Never mind that those meager gains, which were anything but meager as we have covered in past videos, erased billions upon billions from the bottom line of anyone who played that game. The most recent example is Jaguar, the once proud luxury car brand for the discerning, successful British gentleman, and anyone else who wanted some of that high-class branding to rub off on them. Well, Jaguar decided to go all in on all things rainbow, as most everyone knows by now. I mean, many now pronounce their brand name with an F. And in the unlikely event that you don't know anything about what has befallen Jaguar, don't worry, we have videos detailing that in the description, and we cover a lot of things here. That's why you should hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and indicate you want notifications on all videos, so you don't miss out on stuff like this. The most recent update for Jaguar though, after the 97.5% decline in sales, is that 500 staffers will be fired in the UK alone. So yeah, things are not going great for them, nor are they for anyone else going full rainbow. So it would appear that in choosing between making their customers and audience happy in one end, or sacrificing their brand and virtually the entire audience in order to please some activist journalists, Nintendo chose the audience. Do you think they made the right choice, even if that made the activists cry? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.